Hello guys, my name is Victor. I am an international student from Nigeria, currently based in Cologne, Germany. Welcome to my first YouTube video. I was a recipient of the Helmut Schmidt Master's Scholarship in Public Policy and Good Governance in 2018, I believe, where I studied a Master's in Development and Governance at the University of Duisburg-Essen. This video is aimed at giving you a step-by-step guidance on how to apply for the scholarship. And I also have my scholarship form here, the one I filled in 2017. And the form hasn't changed much, I believe. So I'll give you tips on how to fill the form as well. So welcome and join me as I take you through the processes step by step on how to apply for the Helmut Schmidt Master's Scholarship in Public Policy and Good Governance, sponsored by the German Academic Exchange Service. So let's begin without any delay. The Deutsche Akademische Austauschdienst, or in English, German Academic Exchange Service, is part of the German Ministry of Education and involved in dealing with international students and international education in general. So this is also known as DAAD, that's DAAD, and that happens to be one of the biggest scholarship providers in the world. By the way, there are several DAAD scholarships, and the Helmut Schmidt program is just one of the numerous scholarships provided by DAAD. This particular scholarship is aimed at international students interested in public policy, public administration, democracy, good governance, public policy analysis, and issues like that. So if you're interested in such issues, this is a scholarship for you. So let's quickly go through the official document of the scholarship. I'll put a link to this document below so that you can access it yourself. So which countries are eligible for the scholarship? The scholarship is opened for applicants from Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia. For instance, in my cohort, I had a classmate from Colombia, I had a classmate from Thailand, I had another classmate from Afghanistan, I had, I think, 2 classmates from Bangladesh, I had 2 from Ethiopia, 1 from Ghana, and from Nigeria. We also had a few self-funded candidates, 1 from Australia. I think we also had a German in the class and another Colombian. So it's a very international program. And this funding is particularly aimed at those coming from developing countries in Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. So you're meant to have at least a bachelor's degree in an area related to public policy, related to governance, in areas such as political science, law, economics, public administration. And actually, I have a bachelor's from philosophy. Now that is interesting. Philosophy is not often considered a social science, but in my statement of purpose, I was able to show how my initial degree in philosophy relates to public policy and good governance, and also how my work experience had prepared me for this interest or this career in good governance and public policy. Probably in a subsequent video, I'll talk about how to write a good statement of purpose and how to switch disciplines. So if you're not coming from a social science discipline, but you need a scholarship aimed at those from the social science discipline, how do you overcome this hurdle? So there are several good things coming out of this channel. Just stay tuned and subscribe. So let's continue with our Helmut Schmidt scholarship program. So, what does the funding package look like? Well, the scholarship provides you with 850 euros as a monthly stipend for your rent and feeding and other expenses. It also pays your health insurance. Your full health insurance is provided by DAAD. It also pays your travel allowance. Actually, for travel allowance, I sponsored myself to Germany, but my travel cost was refunded by DAAD. So that's interesting. You fund your flight ticket, so to say, to Germany, and by the time you get here, under a week or less than 2 weeks, you get a refund for your travel expenses. Then there are also research subsidies in case you would like to travel somewhere to collect data for your dissertation. You could also apply for additional funding, and the amount given depends on the kind of research you intend to do and your agreement with that. Interestingly as well, there is spousal support and support for children. So those coming over with their spouse and children are also supported with extra stipend. Again, there is a compulsory German language course, usually between April and September. Universities usually begin in October, so between April and September, you're doing an intensive German language course. This course is taken by all applicants, whether your particular degree you'll be undertaking through the DAAD scholarship will be in English or in German or a combination of both. So you're expected to learn German at least, even if you're not using it in the university, for conversations, to move around, to ask questions, to get familiar with the German system. So it's a good thing to learn the language. And in case you want to stay behind after your studies, a good grasp of German would increase your chances of getting a good job offer. Still on the issue of traveling, I've noticed that recipients of the DAAD scholarship do not pay visa fee, and they do not wait for long for their visas to be approved. Again, I think this is one of the benefits of getting the scholarship, since the scholarship is offered by the government. So when you go to the German consulate or the German embassy to apply, you're expected to produce all the documents that sent to you. And once they see those documents and they authenticate those documents, I think in less than 1 week you get your visa to Germany. So it is not a lengthy process at all. And yeah, it's an interesting opportunity and lots of funding from the German government. Talking about the language course once more, it is important that you make out time. Once you get the scholarship, that you make out time between April to September for an intensive German language course. Although there's a bit of flexibility here because I began my language course in June instead of April. Some of my colleagues started in April because, yeah, they started the regular time. But because I had some other program I was doing by then, which I'll discuss in another video, I wasn't able to begin my language course in April. So I began in June. And I believe another colleague of mine, another classmate of mine, I think began in August as well. But April to September is the standard time for the language course. So it's important to have this in mind while you're applying. By the way, the language course is usually taken in an institute outside the university. There are several language schools scattered across Germany, so you might be posted to any one of them. For instance, my language school was in Cologne, Germany, while my university was in Duisburg. A number of my classmates in the language course also had their universities in several other parts of Germany. Some people left to Berlin, others to Göttingen, to München, to Dresden, several parts of Germany. So a subtle but also a very good information to have in mind. And usually you do not, your performance in the language course doesn't necessarily affect your scholarship. Of course, you're not meant to fail, but you're meant to at least take it seriously and do your best. It is obvious that some people learn languages faster than others, but just do your best. And it will be beneficial at the end, especially for those seeking to stay back to either study or work in Germany. I think the language course it's a beautiful integration program into the German system. So let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to the requirements for this scholarship. Firstly, you're expected to have a bachelor's degree with good grades. Yeah, the term good grade is relative, but still at least a first or a second class, I think it's beneficial. Then language skills as well. So here, if your intended program is in English, you're meant to prove that you have sufficient grasp of the English language. If your course is in German, it's beneficial to also show that probably you've been exposed to the German language already. You've done a number of months of study even before coming to Germany might be beneficial for you. Then there should be evidence of social engagement. This is a scholarship for public policy and good governance after all. So there should be evidence that you've either volunteered or worked in the public sector, in the media, political parties, social services, and allied activities. Then you have to convince the scholarship board that you're interested in these areas. These areas I mentioned earlier: public administration, public policy, good governance, transparency, accountability. Then also you need to show how the knowledge you seek to acquire will positively affect your community, your country, and the region you come from. And there's an additional instruction here that your last degree must not be older than 6 years. Then for applicants who have stayed in Germany for more than 15 months, they are not eligible for this scholarship. So let's move on. So these are the documents you are meant to submit. The documents should be either in English or in German. So there's an application form. the DAAD Helmut Schmidt program form. Subsequently, I'll show you where to get this form and how to fill it. Then in this form, you have to select 2 master's courses. There are about, I think, 6 or 8 available master's courses in different universities. So you select the 2 top master's courses that align with your research or academic interests. Then combine all your documents into one PDF file. That is the form, your certificates from your university of previous study, your transcript, your letter of recommendations, your statement of purpose. All these documents should be combined as one document, one PDF document. They should be submitted as an individual document. And you could do that through Google. Just merge PDF in Google, and you get several sites on how to merge your different PDF documents. So that's interesting as well. So remember, you do not send your documents to DAAD directly. You send your documents to the universities. Yes, you do not send your documents to DAAD, but you send the documents to the universities. The universities make the selection, then send their list to DAAD. So all your communications for now should be with the university and not with DAAD. The universities will make their list of top applicants, then send to DAAD for verification. So do not send your documents to the university. Yeah, merge PDF. Sorry. So there are several free PDF mergers you could use here. Yeah. So let's go back. So these are the documents required. The DAAD form I told you about, I'll tell you where to get it. Hand signed and dated motivation letter. Yeah, your CV as well. Yeah, the motivation letter from the instruction here should be 2 pages and should contain your precise academic professional reasons for applying for the scholarship, as well as the 2 universities you're applying to. Why you're applying to those universities, yeah, should be written there. Then a hand-signed full curricular vitae. That's your CV, your resume if you like, to describe your academic and professional career. Then a copy of your degree certificates, copy of your transcript, language certificates. Yes, language certificates. It's beneficial to have these international language certificates. Yeah, I mean either the TOEFL or the IELTS. And are these compulsory? Well, check with your universities. Check with your universities and see. I know I submitted the IELTS certificate. I'm not sure all my classmates did though. So those from English-speaking countries, or those who had their degree from an English-speaking country, you could send probably a letter of English proficiency, a letter attesting to your English proficiency from your university from your previous university to the university in Germany. It might actually be a challenge now. It might actually be a challenge now to write the IELTS and TOEFL because of the lockdown in 2020. Yeah, the corona lockdown. So most of these professional exams, international English test exams are closed for now. The IELTS and TOEFL. If you have them already, good for you. If you don't, try to look for ways of circumventing this by probably getting a letter from your previous university attesting to your English proficiency. or for those with O-level certificates or O-level certificates with good English grades, I think it's also a way of attesting for your English proficiency. And I said, if applicable, letters of employment. If you have a letter of employment, you could also include it there to show you've worked and how long you've worked, your position, your work description. I said one letter of recommendation signed, dated by your university professor or current employer with the proper letterhead and stamps. So this scholarship is opened from 1st of June to 31st of July. So it's a lot of time to prepare your documents to submit. So let's move on. So let's see. There are lots of information here. You can read them on your own, on your free time. So I'm going straight to the universities. So these are the participating universities. Universities where you can study with this Helmut Schmidt scholarship. And the universities do change once in a while. Some universities here were not here last year. So if you applied last year, be careful that your favorite university might not be on the list this year. So it's good to go to the most recent documents and check the participating universities this year. So you have Hochschule Bonn-Rhein, Universität Duisburg-Essen, that's the university I attended. Willy Brandt School of Public Policy, the University of Erfurt, Universität Magdeburg, I think that's also new. Hochschule Osnabrück, okay, that was the last year. I think this year University of Osnabrück is missing, it's not here this year. Universität Passau, Passau has 2 courses this year. University of Potsdam, yeah, that's a familiar one. So these are the participating universities. So let's click on the link to Duisburg. Let's see. Yeah, Uni Duisburg, where I studied. So this is the course. Yeah, this was our trip to Bonn, the German Development Institute in Bonn. I'm somewhere in this picture here. I'm here. Yep. This is me seated here. These are the earlier cohorts of the scholarship. So let's go to the admission application portal, then DAAD scholarship. So the next chance to apply will be here 1st of June to 31st of July. Yes. And these are the requirements. Most of them were already spoken about. Remember to send as one single PDF file. And the size of the file should be below 10 megabytes. So this is the DAAD form I was telling you about. So let's click on it and see. Yeah, okay. It hasn't changed at all. This is exactly the form I filled in 2017, I believe. Yeah, let me fish out my own copy. Yeah, this is my copy of the form. I think it's more or less straightforward. The information there are both in English and in German. Okay, Then I attached my letter of motivation. Yeah, my CV, my IS, my transcript. Yep. Then my certificates. Yeah, and that's it. So this is a very long video already. In case you have questions about the scholarship, please write them down in the comments section. I'll try to get back to each one of you regarding your questions. So yeah, this was my application form. PD 2017. Scholarship came through in 2018. This could be you next year. Put your questions below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There'll be lots of educational materials on this channel. My next video will be how to write an award-winning and personal statements. Presently, I've gotten at least 4 international scholarships in the UK, in Germany, and the US. So I might just know 1 or 2 things about packaging an award-winning application for international postgraduate scholarships. So remember to subscribe and click on the notification button so you get notified when I post a new video. So thanks for staying by, for joining me through the process of looking at this year's Helmut Schmidt scholarship requirements, and I wish you good luck with your application. Have a nice day.